Do you want to learn how to market your books for free? Have you tried using your Amazon Author Central account? Have you set one up? Well, this is the show for you. If you're interested in learning how to market your books and use an Amazon Author Central account, then stick around. Hi, I'm Ashley with Publish with Ashley, and I'm here live on my YouTube channel and streaming to Facebook group. So if you want to hear about how to make money online, and I talk a lot about Kindle Direct Publishing and publishing low content books and ways to market them, then please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel or join my Facebook group. Okay, so for today, we are going to talk about Amazon Central, the Amazon Author Central accounts, and kind of explaining what you can do with them, why they're good. And I'm going to give you some of the tips and tricks that I've learned throughout this process, because I think you might find that helpful. Hello. Let's see, Christina, I'm probably saying it wrong, but good morning. I do a live every Wednesday. So you guys come in and ask your questions. I'll do kind of whatever my topic is, and then I'll answer questions as you guys have them. All right, so let me share my screen because I'm going to talk about Author Central real quick. And I wanted to kind of show you this is an Author Central. You can just Google Author Central. It comes right up, but it's author.amazon.com. That's what the actual thing is, but I just Google it to find it. And this, you go in and you sign up, and you can actually have more than one Author Central account. So it's like one Author Central account per email, and each Author Central account you can have 3 pen names under that. And you can have multiple, you can only have one KDP account, okay, right? One KDP account, but Author Central is a little bit different because it's about managing your brand names, your pen names, right? So you can have several Amazon Author Central accounts. All right, so I'm going to show you, actually, this is my daughter, Caitlin, her Amazon Author Central account. So she had a pen name a while ago, and she published notebooks and journals of things that she drew. So these are kind of her drawings, actually, that she put on notebooks. And they sold, not as much now because there's a lot more on there now, but she sold a bit, and she made a few $100s as a 10-year-old. So that was a lot for her. But let me talk a little bit about Author Central and what you can do with it. So like I said, you can have 3 pen names, and then this drop down is where you can get to and toggle between your different pen names. And you have these different tabs up here, but the things you can kind of do that are cool is you can create your own short link. So Caitlin, I don't remember if I created one for her Author Central account. I think it's just Caitlin Schmidt. So, but you can create an actual kind of Amazon, kind of a short link for your Author Central page so that you can share that with social media and people can see that. And I'll show you what an Author Central account, you've probably seen them going through and doing research, but we'll kind of talk about it because I'm going to show you someone who does it pretty well. But the things you can do here is you can actually view all your books. You have to add your books as you create them. And once they're published, you just search on Amazon for them and add them to your Author Central account so that it goes in and kind of collects them. You can view your sales ranks of your different books. You can view customer reviews. It is a little bit of a delay. It's not like an automatic thing. Like if you get sales rank and customer reviews, it takes a little bit to update through this system, but it is a way to kind of view across an entire pen name and the books you add to that pen name, data. So it's kind of interesting. The real thing I think that maybe the data is maybe interesting, but I think the real power is trying to use it as a marketing platform. So on your profile page, you can add pictures. You can, this is where you create that author page URL. And then you can manage, like if you have a blog, you can manage blog. You can also upload videos and photos. This is an opportunity for you to, maybe showcase your books. Like if you're doing TikTok videos or anything like that, you can reuse that content and put it on your Author Central account. This is my girl's, and this was her author page. She added some stuff to it. And if you have a blog, you can actually add, especially if you're a nonfiction or maybe even low content, you can add blog pages, things like that, to actually promote your content off Amazon if you have a blog or another website, which isn't a bad idea. So one of the things I did want to talk about, it's kind of my tip too, is you can have up to 3 pen names per Author Central account, but you want to do an Author Central account, but don't get too excited. I literally have like I have 6 pen names that I run through Amazon, the Author Central pages, and it is actually a pain. If I could do it over again, I think I would experiment and play around and, you know, try stuff and decide really what I want, what brand I want to promote, what pen name I want to promote before I create an Author Central account, because it it just takes time, and anything that takes time, not that it's good, it's just it takes time, right? So you want to put your effort into the things that are going to push you forward the most, right? So I kind of wish I have too many things to run, and I kind of wish I would have waited on my Author Central account until I kind of had a real focus. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. This was a while ago when like there was no information on Amazon KDP when I started. It was the wild, wild west. Everyone was just kind of doing stuff and no one really knew. And so I was kind of trying everything. And I think if now I have 2 brands that I kind of focus on, and those are the ones that I would, definitely do an Author Central account for, a pen name or run one. And then I would also do, Pinterest or any other sort of promotion to those 2 brands, an email list, that sort of stuff. But so my advice is, yes, you can have, as many as you want, but that takes a lot of time. So I would really think about it and decide on your focus before just creating a bunch of stuff, because you can't get rid of them. Like they stay up, they don't go away. Amazon doesn't delete them. They are there. So you don't want to, they get lost, right? So it's not like it's going to hurt you to just get lost in that Amazon eco space, but it's there kind of forever. So you want to pick things that you can manage and update and create. Like my daughter hasn't played with her Amazon Central author account forever. So like this is from when she was 10, she's 17. So she hasn't played with this forever. Okay. So let me go on to show you a really good one. Joanna Penn. I don't know. I love her podcast. I'm on her email list, all sorts of stuff. I've read a lot of her books. It's more for the authors, like fiction, nonfiction authors. But she's still got a ton of resources that are great. Anyway, she does have she does 2. She does fiction and nonfiction. This is Joanna Penn is her nonfiction account, but you can see her Author Central. She has videos, she does pictures when she publishes things, she writes blog posts and posts them up here. She's really pretty active. Like this one was 2 days ago, right? This is a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So she promotes stuff through her Author Central account. And she's built this up over years. So don't be intimidated by this. This has taken her, I've been following her about 5-6 years now. So this has taken her a while to build up, but it's something that you can definitely do. Like she has all her books up here. She has stuff, translated into several languages, and she does a really good job of this sort of thing. Anyway, so this is a way to promote. Hers is, I've clicked through it, so it's got extra stuff, but hers is www.amazon.com/Joanna -Penn. So that's kind of the short link she can give people to promote her brand. So if someone says, hey, can I see where all your products are? This is the type of thing you can do. You can send them to your author account, and then you can then it's a place to say, when people ask me, where can I find your books? I always have a hard time because mine are kind of scattered around. And like I said, I didn't manage my Author Central accounts probably as I should. And now that I'm redoing this, I'm trying to set up a new account and reorganize myself much better. But you can send it to them. What you can also do is, if you have a website, something short, maybe just your name, your pen name, if you can get something like that. Like if she had, I'm not sure I think she has, it's not Joanna Penn, but let's say she had www.joannapenn.com. She could actually send them directly here. You could do a redirect and set it to send it up right here. And so she could say, hey, you can check out all my books on Amazon, through this link. So you could do something simple like that, or you can redirect through your site, however you want to promote your books. But this is a good way that if you need something free to show everybody to promote your books, you can use your Amazon Author Central account as a way, like a short link to send people to, and it's free. Okay, so that's something that's really important, and it gets people right to purchasing your books. I can just add stuff to cart, right? Buy with one click. So it's a good way to do that. Let's see. That's kind of all I wanted to talk about with Author Central accounts. I think it's a great way to market your books because it is a link. It's free. You can use it and just give it to people when they ask you, hey, where can I find your books? You just give them that link and it sends them right to things. You could use a QR code and also send people, you could have a QR code on a business card and send people right here so that they can purchase your books. All right. Good morning, Gail and Sheehan. We've got someone from Kingston, Washington. I haven't been to Kingston, Washington. I've been to Washington, but not Kingston. I don't think I have anyway. Anyone have any questions? That's kind of all I wanted to chat about today was just Author Central account. Do you have any questions about Author Central's accounts? It's pretty easy to sign up. You just go to that first page right here and then join, right? Sign in. And you just create an account. You don't have to use the same one as you use for KDP. You can use something else, but you do need an email account to do that. It will ask you a few questions so that you can link your account to your pen name and stuff, but it's pretty easy to follow. You put QR codes on your business bookmarks. That's a great idea, especially if you guys go somewhere to showcase your books. I actually was talking to someone who does Renaissance festivals. Remember, I go to Renaissance festivals. And so she dresses up all in her armor and she sells her fiction because people want to stop and ask her about her armor and stuff. And she sells her fiction books actually at Renaissance fairs. And she says it does really well because she captures people's attention with her whole get up and garb. And she has bookmarks and use QR codes and things like that. That's a great idea and a good idea for people. Would you guys have any questions here? Let me remove that. Anything you guys want to know about Author Central accounts or just anything you guys want to know about low content publishing? I can try and answer that. I'll give you guys a second. I guess updates on me while you guys are thinking. Our house has been flooded. We've had flooding. So we've been an island for a few days. I should post some pictures. I'll post some pictures on Facebook. Our house is literally an island with water surrounding all sides. And we were stuck in our house for the past 3 days. When the tide goes low, we can get out. But other than that, we've been trapped. So kids haven't had school. We've had everybody home. Let's see. I wanted to ask you, you mentioned one of yours, you created about 100 planners. Do you advertise all of them? If not, how do you manage that they don't sell? Okay, so with planners, yes, I do. When I do about 100 planners, I do advertise them all. I do an auto campaign. I throw them all into the same campaign and I bid really, really low, 5 to 10 cents. And then I see which ones actually start either selling or getting impressions. And then the ones that start selling and getting impressions, I might actually create their own campaigns for. I might try an auto campaign for those that start to either sell or actually get impressions or get clicks. Because if they're getting impressions and getting clicks, then there's an interest there, right? And so then I'll kind of pull those out and I'll do maybe another auto campaign, or maybe I'll try a manual campaign on them if I kind of have an idea of why they might be selling. So that's kind of my method for advertising planners. If I have a huge amount, I throw them into a campaign all together and really bid low and then see what starts to kind of rise to the top. And then I pull those out and advertise those individually. And that works pretty well. All right. Good morning, Shola, probably. Good morning. I recently started using QR codes in the back of my books, and it leads to my Author Central accounts. I think it helps. Yes, I do think that is a great idea. Use a QR code on the back of your book. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually looked up on the rules on Amazon. The only thing you can't do is you can't put the QR code where the barcode would be. That's the only stipulation. But it doesn't make sense to put it where the barcode would be because that wouldn't make any sense right now. So you can put a QR code anywhere you want on the front, the back of your book. It just can't be where the barcode is. That was actually in Amazon. I guess someone did it. I'm not sure why, but that's actually in there. Do you have ones to look at for our books? Okay, so do you do one on ones. Oh, to look at your books. Yes, I do. I think it's on my website. I have coaching and one-on-one coaching. I'm pretty sure I put it back on my website. I know I pulled it off for a while. And I do two look at mentoring sessions, something like that. It's on there on my website, kind of coaching or help or whatever like that. Hey Bailey, how are you? I probably should do that. Maybe just do like a tiny one just to look at someone's specific book, like $25 or something super cheap. But yeah, I have a bigger one. It has 2 mentoring sessions and help. But maybe I'll add something smaller on for people who just want a little bit of help. Anyone else have any questions? Oh, wait, I got one here. If I am only planning on writing real life stories, do I need a pen name? No, you can use your own name. It's really, do you want to put your name out there? The only thing I would do is do 2 things. One, Google your name and see if there's someone famous. If your name was Marilyn Monroe, obviously, if you wrote books, people would think Marilyn Monroe would be actually Marilyn Monroe and not you. So if your name is famous, you have to do something to distinguish it. You can actually just add in your middle initial to make it distinguishable, right? So I would probably still stick away from Marilyn Monroe, but if your name isn't probably quite that famous, but just Google it, see if there's anyone famous within the U.S., within any of the countries that Amazon sells in, and if it is, just add a distinguishing characteristic. It could be a middle initial, it could be a middle name. It just has to be something to distinguish your name. The other thing is also check on Amazon to make sure that someone else doesn't have that exact same pen name. And yet again, all you have to do is something simple like add your middle name or add a middle initial so that you can distinguish yourself as someone different. But no, you can keep your name if you like. It's really just if the only reason I think to do different pen names is because you are doing different. I look at it as audiences. So I do young adult fiction, YA, and my YA is not the same pen name that I would use for some of my low content books, right? Because they're kind of different. Now, if I had something YA-ish, like young adult-ish, I could put it under my, low content, maybe under that fiction, young adult pen name, but it doesn't fit for me. It's not quite the same audience. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So I kind of think of pen names as audiences. If you're you don't want to put kids stuff with adult stuff. Now, there's some exceptions to that. Like you wouldn't put like erotica with kid stuff. That would not be in the same pen name at all. But let's say you're selling stuff to parents. So you could have, parents, help books to help their kids learn math. And then you could have math workbooks for kids, right? That would make sense because it's still, one's maybe focused on kids and maybe one's on parents, but it's still the same type of people who are going to be looking and purchasing those types of items. So that would be fine to put in the same pen name. So that's kind of how I think of pen names is who are you marketing to? And then keep those sort of things in that pen name. All right. Does anyone else have any questions? I don't see any more. So that's it, you guys. I do recommend that. Have I told you guys that I'm doing some lottery campaigns? So the lottery campaigns is that idea you throw a whole bunch of books into a pot. It's what I actually tried to do the other day is I literally took all of my books, not my old planners. Like I didn't put anything from 2021 or any of those types of things. I literally put everything into one huge campaign. I have it bid at 5 cents and I'm seeing, what rises to the top. So my idea was to start getting some of my older stuff to sell again. And I actually woke up this morning and I had 2 books that haven't sold in a really long time that sold. And so I haven't looked, but I kind of think it was due to that campaign. So I'm not spending a lot. I think last time I looked, it was a few days ago, I've spent $10 whole on that campaign. And I put literally all of my books in there and I've spent $10, but I've kind of seen some of my backlog sales or backlogged books, like the books from way long ago, like I published 3 or 4 years ago that I kind of lost. They've kind of been starting to sell, not all the time, but I've seen some of those books that just haven't sold in like a year or two start to sell. So I don't know. That's kind of what I decided to try. And then what I'm going to do is, yet again, if things start to pick up and sell, I'm going to pull those ones that are selling and put them into their own campaigns. But I kind of decided, why not just advertise everything and see what happens? I was willing to spend, I think I put my budget at like $100 to see for a month to see, what would happen. And I've seen sales go up, and it's only been, I think I started it the 3rd of May or something like that. And I've only spent $10, $12 or something. So I think that's kind of a cool thing to try. If you want to try it, go ahead. See. Let's see. How do you make a customer persona? I'm having a hard time doing it. Do you just assume because it's a real customer persona that you will need research data? Okay, so the easy way to do that is kind of start thinking about who are they, what are their purposes, and what do they need? I always describe parents, I think, is a good way to think of it. Okay, so if you're making books for kids, who's purchasing those? It's going to be parents or aunts or uncles or, as a gift or something like that. So you're talking adults, but you've got to think of 2 ways to kind of create that customer persona. You've got to think, okay, yes, you're aiming and targeting at the parents to purchase it, but you're also having to think about, what problems do they want to solve? Do they want their kids to learn math? Do they want to just entertain their kids with a coloring book? Do they want their kid, is it a gift? You kind of start thinking about what problems are they trying to solve? And then if you're doing the parents and they're buying something for a kid, the second problem you have is you've got to think, okay, so they're giving it to a kid. So the cover and interior has to do 2 things. One, it has to appeal to a parent on a logical level. It also has to appeal to a parent on a visual level, knowing their child. Children like bright colors, right? They like vibrant things. They want it to be fun and interesting. And parents know that. They're with their kids. I read my kids' books all the time. I can go through a children's book and go, that one, no, my kid wouldn't read. That one, yes, they would read. That one, they would read. And so I try and yes, I'm still looking from that parent's eye, but yet as far as do I want them to learn something educational? Maybe, but it can be educational and still be attractive to a child. So when you're creating your customer persona, you've got to say, okay, what are they trying to do? With the parent, it's got 2 things, right? You've got also the parents, but you've got to appeal to the kids. Some other customer profiles might not be as difficult. For example, like camping. If you are trying to sell to people who, IRV, we do the recreational vehicle camp, all that sort of stuff. So what kind of things do I like? I hang out on YouTube and I watch other RVers who do RVing full time. I have a few Facebook groups I follow. I also, I want maybe a camping logbook, or I want to share my memories and have a memory book. So you start thinking, okay, what does this person do? Like, where do they hang out? Like I said, I love to hang out on YouTube for that sort of stuff. And there's quite a lot of us who hang out on YouTube who are campers and RVers. So maybe you can, when you market, you can market through that. So you kind of think, yes, you need some research, but it's kind of Googling, doing some Facebook groups. You can join a few groups and just kind of watch and see what questions get asked, that sort of thing. That research is really invaluable and kind of free and not all that difficult. It works best if you're kind of that audience or you know something about it. Like I create a lot of kids' books. So because I'm a parent, I have 4 girls, I kind of have an idea of what parents want, need, and where they hang out. I like camping, so I create some camping books. I actually, when our house was flooded yesterday, I was out taking a ton of pictures because I'm creating an emergency preparedness book. And I'm going to actually advertise it with the pictures I took because our house is literally flooded. And I'm huge on packing my pantry and having food and stuff like that because we get stuck without power. We get stuck without a way actually out of our house. We really are trapped here. So I'm creating a book with that in mind. And then I'm actually taking pictures so that I can market it to people. Okay, that was probably a really long answer, but kind of start to think about that sort of thing and it might help you. Okay. Bailey says she'll have to run an auto campaign. Try it. Just set yourself a budget and say, I'm going to spend $20 and see how it works. Or I set mine as 100, and I think it's working. It's definitely selling some books that I haven't seen sold in a really long time. So I think even if it's not showing up in the advertising data, as far as I got a click, but not necessarily a purchase, I think the added exposure is helping kind of bring some of those books that haven't, they've kind of been hiding in Amazon's algorithm. That kind of brings them to the surface. At least that's my thought. So try it. Just set yourself a budget. Okay. Hopefully that was good. Any other questions? Because it's been about 30 minutes, 25 minutes. So if you guys don't have any questions, I will be here live on Wednesday next week. So I'm happy to answer questions. And yeah, that's about it. I don't see anything else. So if that's it, I'm going to go, and I will be here live next week. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you all again next week. Thanks. Bye.